Like Confucius said, without feelings of respect, what is there to distinguish men from beasts? I'll prefer to answer this with a story. Stay with me. Once upon a time, in an ancient village, there lived 3 princes who were next in line to be king of the village. The first one, named Hebo, was the eldest and the friendliest. He spoke to every villager, asked about their well-being, and genuinely cared for each one of them. He was always seen with children, playing with them and buying them things. The villagers all loved him. Many people believed he would be next in line to be king, since the current king was aged and about to die. The second prince, Gritter, was rarely around. He was always smartly dressed and only seen by the villagers when decisions were meant to be made on behalf of the king, who was already bedridden, or when money was meant to be contributed. He was seen as smart, but he was always scarce. His name was rarely on the lips of the children in the village like Hebo. The third prince, Wiley, was the richest. He was always spending money on one thing, or building one infrastructure in the village. He provided each and every villager with basic amenities that they needed, and he was also loved as much as the others, maybe even more. Few months passed, and the king died, and it was time to crown a new king. The villagers were required to vote for who they wanted to rule them for the forthcoming years. Who truly has what it takes to be king? That was the question on the lips of the villagers. The voting ended, and the counting began. Let's take a brief pause. From the story so far, who do you think would win the election? Well, let's see if you would be right or wrong. The counting ended, and the day of the announcement arrived. All the villagers trooped to the palace to know who would be their next king, their next leader. The 3 princes sat in front of the crowd, looking expectantly at the announcer. Most of the villagers knew who they voted for already and were eager to know if the prince they wanted to win would be winning. The next king of our village would be Prince Gritter. The announcer echoed, and loud cheer and whistling erupted in the palace. Gritter won. Hebo was in shock. He did it all for these villagers, but there they are in front of him, happily celebrating the victory of the man who was rarely around, the man who they barely knew. But are the results so shocking? The villagers voted for who they admired and respected the most. Wiley was the richest, true, but was he respected? Hebo was caring, fun, and he was loved by the villagers, but what about the respect? Familiarity breeds contempt, and distance brings respect. When people are overly familiar with you, they forget how important you are to them, and the correct way to behave with you. What are the other things you do that makes people feel they can disrespect you and get away with it? What are these daily habits you do that make people feel you're not worthy of respect? It would be a shock to you to find out that some of these habits are those you consider innocent or kind, but it's not so to other people. The first one, lack of respect for oneself. You will earn the respect of all if you begin by earning the respect of yourself. Musonius Rufus. When you respect yourself, others will respect you. Like Hebo in the story, many of you make yourselves too available to the people around you. You have to create a respectable distance or boundary between yourself and others. Not too much to disconnect yourself from them, and not too small to make yourself easily accessible, as easy access means easy disrespect. Gritter, who was rarely around and was only seen at important occasions, made the villagers admire him, and he got the respect he deserved. They saw him fit as someone who was fit to rule their kingdom. He respected himself and wasn't playing around with the children in the village all day, and that's what made the difference for him. I'm not saying you should shy away from people and isolate yourself, but when you're always around and available, a sense of familiarity sets in, and people who respected you before slowly start lowering their respect for you. No one has access to celebrities every time, and that's why they are always revered when they step outside. Be that guy that is invited before you appear at an occasion. We have to take a look at one of the greatest Stoic philosophers ever and look at what difference he made to earn respect. In the annals of history, Only few leaders have commanded as much reverence and respect as Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor, whose reign saw a fusion of authority and philosophy like no other. Although he knew genuine respect does not come from a title or crown, he made sure to let the people below him to understand the difference in their positional authority. Unlike Marcus Aurelius, many people in places of authority mistake humility for overfamiliarity. They overdo things in a bid to come across to people as meek and humble. But the only thing humans see is how pathetic it really is, and that breeds disrespect. Slowly they start undermining your authority, and if nothing is done about it at that stage, much later there will be no authority to stand on again. You have to take a look in the mirror sometimes and see who you actually are and what you represent. Then you need to act like it. Self-respect is essential for a fulfilling life, and it can be cultivated through inner discipline and focusing on what one can control. Respect yourself, and no one will ever get the chance to disrespect you. The second habit you need to leave behind is the habit of disrespecting and disregarding others. I just talked about respecting yourself and giving yourself a respectable distance between yourself and those below you. This does not mean you should disrespect the people below you. The Stoic demand is to respect all people, regardless of their office, social status, sex, or nationality. You should respect everyone as an individual, but no one should be idolized. When you show respect to others, you demonstrate that you value their worth as human beings and that you are willing to treat them with kindness and compassion. Do unto others as you would have them do to you. No matter what position you find yourself in, learn to respect people too, no matter how small they are. When you respect people below you, more people are automatically going to start respecting you the more. Let people below you talk, listen to their opinions, and show genuine interest in whatever they have to say. And even if you are not going to follow it at the end, let them know why, and they will admire and respect you. Even the great Marcus Aurelius knew the importance of dropping this habit, because despite the immense power he wielded as an emperor, he consistently emphasized the value of character and personal virtues over positional authority. He was well aware that genuine respect does not come from a title he led or a crown he wore, but from the very essence of one's character. Throughout his reign, he faced numerous challenges, wars, political unrest and plagues, yet he handled them all pretty well by showing a balance of logic and emotion in all the decisions he made, guided by his followings of the Stoic teachings and guidance that he lived by. All these are what made him one of the most revered and respectful emperors of all time, not the crown. Others wore the crown and were not half as respected as Marcus Aurelius, and that is the very mistake people make these days. They mistake being feared for being respected. Respect is not meant to be gotten through fear or authority, but earned through wisdom, justice, courage, and temperance. If you stamp on what others have to say every time, and you refuse to listen to advice from those below you, they will only start fearing, and there's no genuine respect in that. They would turn away from you the first chance they get. In Stoic philosophy, showing respect to others is seen as a virtue because it is essential for building strong relationships based on mutual respect and understanding. When you show respect to others, especially people below you, you create an environment of cooperation and trust, and you demonstrate that you are a person of integrity and character. To show respect to others, it is important to treat everyone with kindness and compassion, regardless of their position and status. It is also important to be polite and courteous in your interactions with other people. Thirdly, lack of accountability. To accuse others for one's misfortune is a sign of want of education. To accuse oneself shows that one's education has begun. Epictetus. If you keep avoiding being held accountable for things you did, and you're not prepared to take responsibility for your actions, people will lose whatever little respect they already had for you. If something happened because of an action or decision you made, accept that it was caused by you, either directly or indirectly. When you lie and find excuses to every single thing happening, you are seen as irresponsible, and what do irresponsible people get? Disrespect. You have to be ready to make decisions and make them fast for everyone, depending or looking up to you. Don't wait for other people to decide for you, as you will start losing the respect you already earned from people. Even when you are not so sure of what action to take, you still have to, for your own sake and for the people looking up to you, people that respect you. A man must stand erect, not be kept erect by others. Marcus Aurelius. When it goes well, you take the win. When it doesn't, you hold yourself accountable. Even when things are going really bad, you have to stand up and be that person who motivates and encourages everyone around. Be that beamer of hope to everyone going through something around you, and they will respect you for always being positive. And when they get through that issue, you will be the one they admire and respect for pulling them through. This is a major reason why Greta won the election. He was always there when the decisions had to be made. The villagers believed he was the one with the wisdom to lead them on the right path. Not Hebo, not Greta. This does not mean you should not take advice from people, by the way. World leaders have advisors too. If you are unsure, ask advice from multiple people, but make sure you are the one who makes the decision on what advice to follow at the end. When people see you are in control of your own life, they tend to respect you and even let you decide for them too at times. The fourth habit on the list is lack of consistency. If you don't have a consistent goal in life, you can't live it in a consistent way. Marcus Aurelius. If you are known for a certain thing or a certain way of reacting to problems, then you suddenly change when something suddenly happens. Believe it or not, people will start losing respect for you, consciously or unconsciously. You can't be a guy who everyone believes to react calmly and try to find a solution. When there's trouble and when it truly comes on a particular day, you start panicking or getting angry. Nope, it does not work like that. Do you think if Prince Greta, or should I say king now, do you think if he was one day the smartly dressed and rarely seen prince, and the next day the prince playing with children in the mud, do you think he would win that election? Definitely not. Most times, consistency beats talent. Consistency beats good intentions. Consistency beats luck. You have to be that guy who says he wants to do something, who wants to be something and never stops till he gets what he wants. You have to be the talk and do guy. When you tell someone you'll keep working out till you're a couple pounds slimmer, then they see you working out every day till you're that slim. Do you think they will have more respect for you or not? The answer here is obvious. Be consistent. Then respect comes easily after. This consistency of a habit only leads me to the fifth habit you have to stop, because it really goes hand in hand. It is constant negativity. Even if you are as consistent as anything else in the world, you have to really believe in what you are consistently doing. You have to be positive about your goals. You have to be positive about your life. Like Seneca once said, everything hangs on one's thinking. A man is as unhappy as he has convinced himself he is. If you convince yourself that you have failed something, I can assure you that you will end up failing it. One of the reasons the Roman public loved and respected Marcus Aurelius was because he was always there to provide and support his citizens during trying times, especially during the Antonine Plague. His positivity was contagious, and it spread out to his soldiers, and together they held the empire together through the Roman Empire's first true pandemic, the Parthian War, the Germanic Wars, and many other tribulations that they faced. Many people today will have already accepted defeat when they have to face a little competition in their place of work or in their chase for success. We have to get rid of constant negativity and be more like Marcus Aurelius. When people see how positive you are, they respect you for that and emulate you. They look up to you and even want to be like you. The sixth habit that you need to leave behind as soon as possible if you want people to start respecting you is the habit of procrastination. The habit of procrastination is just like the one of constant negativity, maybe even worse, because it's pretty obvious that people will lose respect for you when you say you will do or deliver something at a given time and you don't. Putting things off is the biggest waste of life. It snatches away each day as it comes and denies you the present by promising the future. I'm sure Gritter wasn't someone who procrastinates and fails to show up at decisive meetings when he's needed during the times the king was still ill. He was always first to get there and ready to make decisions for all. And what makes him even more impressive is that he works towards making that a reality. He just doesn't say at the meetings, he makes it happen as he promised. These are factors that made him respected, the attributes that placed him over Hebo and Wiley. One of the most popular quotes by Marcus Aurelius was, "In your actions, don't procrastinate. In your conversations, don't confuse. In your thoughts, don't wander. In your soul, don't be passive or aggressive. And in your life, don't be all about business." Read the first line again. In your actions, do not procrastinate. It's sad that many people do just that nowadays. Procrastination has become so normalized that it is no longer recognized as the disease it actually is. When you do things, when you say you will do them, and you get to a place at the exact time you say you will, people will not only respect you the more, they will also start taking your words a lot more seriously. Yes, he said he will arrive in 10 minutes, so we have to prepare now. You have to be the type of person people talk about like that. It's respect. It's trust. You have to get rid of procrastination today. Make a to-do list. Divide your larger tasks into simpler ones and conquer. Time yourself during tasks and give yourself rewards at times when you do these things successfully. In no time, you will see that you no longer procrastinate, and it will help you greatly and, more importantly, make more people respect you automatically. The final habit I will be talking about today is the habit of dishonesty. By lying, we deny others a view of the world as it is. Our dishonesty not only influences the choices they make, it often determines the choices they can make. Every lie is a direct assault upon the autonomy of those we lie to. These days, it is almost as if it is normal to lie and be dishonest. People do what they feel like doing as long as it does not directly affect them. They do not care about others, and no one respects anyone who does not respect them. Dishonesty is something the Stoics really frown upon. Even sitting by and allowing a lie to stand is being indirectly dishonest and not permissible for the Stoics. Personally, and I'm sure it also applies to most people, I can never trust someone I caught lying to me. I will lose total respect for such a person and never believe a word they say. Being known as dishonest is dangerous because a liar will not be believed, even when he says the truth. No one respects a dishonest person too. Marcus Aurelius himself asserts that anything that must be done in a deceitful manner or behind closed doors is to be avoided. But if you are known as an honest person, you will be trusted and respected. If there is a debate on a recent event and you are asked about what actually happened, your word will be respected and it would be final. Honesty is the first chapter in the Book of Wisdom. Thomas Jefferson. Be honest and wise, and you will always be respected. You must leave behind these habits that hold you back from achieving what you need to achieve. Avoiding these habits are one of the fundamental principles of Stoicism, and you have to be ready to leave them behind, even when it is difficult or inconvenient too. Apart from doing it to get respected, most of these habits are detrimental to your personal growth and what you can accomplish in life. By dropping these habits, you can also become a more well-rounded and compassionate person and build stronger relationships with people. People will respect you for your enviable character and will root for you in places you will need them, like King Gritta from the story. Your position doesn't give you respect. Your titles don't give you respect. You earn respect. And to earn respect, these are some of the habits you need to drop immediately. Thank you. That will be all for today. If you found this video entertaining and helpful, do not forget to hit the like and subscribe buttons, as it serves as a source of motivation to keep making videos like this for you. Also make sure to hit the notification bell so you can be the first person to know when a new video drops. See you again soon.